Gravitas, co-presented by Skoda. Kushaq, choose what really matters.
The era of non-alignment is over. India wants to be an influencer on the world stage, and it is reinventing its approach, beginning to take a stand where it matters and making tough choices. This week we'll see some of that happening, which is why we are here to track the moves and the meetings that will define India's relationships with the world, that will determine India's place in the new world order. The Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, will be in Washington, D.C. and New York. He'll meet world leaders, he'll engage with key stakeholders, he will speak his mind on the issues that matter. And we can tell you that WION is the biggest team on the ground with 10 reporters in D.C., in New York, and we will cover all the developments as they happen. Our next report tells you what you can expect this week.
It cannot get bigger than this. 1 week of action-packed events, agenda-setting speeches and high-powered diplomacy. The focus will be on India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He has a number of bilateral engagements lined up. The first stop will be Washington, D.C. The Indian Prime Minister will arrive on the 22nd of September. On the 23rd, he'll sit down with his Quad counterparts, Prime Minister Scott Morrison of Australia and Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga of Japan. On the 24th of September, Prime Minister Modi will meet US President Joe Biden at the White House. The two leaders will come face to face for the first time after Biden's victory last year. 3 pressing issues top the agenda. Number 1, the security situation in Afghanistan. Number 2, the Wuhan virus pandemic. And number 3, the implication of AUKUS, the latest security pact of the United States, the United Kingdom and Australia. The bilateral talk is expected to last 15 minutes. US Vice President Kamala Harris is also expected to attend. After that sit-down, both leaders will join the first ever in-person Quad Summit. 5 issues will dominate these discussions. Tensions in the Indo-Pacific, connectivity and infrastructure projects, vaccine manufacturing, critical technologies like 5G and chip manufacturing, and climate change. Later in the week, the action will shift to New York for the United Nations General Assembly. Prime Minister Modi will address world leaders on the 25th of September, his 4th speech in 7 years as Prime Minister. India is expected to use this opportunity to raise its voice on a number of global issues. The list includes terrorism, climate change, equitable and affordable access to vaccines, tensions in the Indo-Pacific, and reforms at the United Nations. Prime Minister Modi is expected to meet more world leaders on the sidelines. The world will be closely watching his interactions, and WION has put together the biggest reporting team on the ground to track every event.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.
Gravitas, co-presented by Skoda. Kushaq, choose what really matters.